All right, so Minister, I want to start off by asking, what is the main message that you would like to share to students, guardians, parents, and education professionals about tomorrow? Thank you.
The message is that based on the weather conditions we have had over the past couple of days, specifically today, and the predictions of what should happen overnight, we have made the decision to close schools so that students and all school personnel can be as safe as possible.
And was the basis of this decision, because some people may say that it seems a little more proactive than the last one. How do you answer that person?
Well, one definite difference is that the orange alert happened today at about 4 p.m. With the last situation, the orange alert happened at just before 6 a.m. So the timelines were completely different. And today it gave us a little more time to look at what was happening and look at the predictions that were coming in. In the last instance, when that came in at 6 a.m., the question was there were children already at school, some of them. There were some of them who would have been on their way to school, some wouldn't have left home yet. But the question was, do we wait for a couple more hours to see what's happening? And then we end up in a situation where children are stranded at school because the day before that, we had closed over 100 schools due to flooding. So at that point, it was, at this point, what do we do? This time, because it happened at 4:08 in the afternoon, we had a little more time to look at it, to plan, and to see what was happening in terms of predictions and then make a decision. So the situations are similar, but the timing made a big difference in the two reactions to it.
So in terms of moving forward, similar decisions. So take the point of the timing. So is it a matter of saying, okay, well, parents, guardians, they take a precedent from one? How does the ministry move forward in making decisions as they occur in the future, Minister?
These decisions are always taken on the advice of the Met Service as well as rural development. So we look at what's the actual prediction at this time, what is supposed to happen in the near future, as well as the riverine levels, because that is very critical. So sometimes you have rain and the rain may cease, but the riverine levels still go up and you get that level of flooding. And of course, flooding is dangerous. We would have had a situation where a couple weeks ago, a young lady, school had over, she was walking through flood water, she fell into a manhole. So these are situations we try to avoid as much as possible. So parents can be clear. And of course, we look at the reactions as well on social media and even off, and we understand. So that's why this time we put a holding statement in place saying, listen, we can't say just yet what's happening. We're looking at it and we will give you an update at a particular time. And we kept to that timeline so that parents can be sure that we will be, putting out these kinds of holding statements, even if we cannot make a decision just yet, so that the questions, they don't have to be uncertain. So that is a principle, a holding statement. If we can't put out an actual decision just yet, and then of course, as soon as possible, we put a decision out there, and it's all based on the advice of the Met Service and the Ministry of Rural Development.
Understood. There might be some individuals who are able to respond a little faster to some of those notices that are put out, though, Minister. So is it that while we're waiting for those alerts, those updates, these updates, if we see a certain level reached, we do what we think is best for ourselves, children? What is your suggestion to persons in that situation?
But this is not the first time we've had flooding, we've had rain. We live in a country where there's rainy and dry season. So I don't think parents are unaware of what safety precautions they must take. And of course, different parts of the country experience different things. So if you're living in a flood-prone area, then, I think the persons in that area are well tuned in terms of what they do when they see certain types of weather and so on. So the usual precautions that anyone would take in adverse weather, in rain and that kind of thing, that has to be taken into consideration. We want safety of all our citizens. And certainly we will put as many updates as we can out there from the Ministry of Education side, but we're also advising our citizens, just for our common knowledge and to guide our common behavior, that we must keep abreast of the news, the weather alerts, social media. We must keep abreast of these things so that we are aware. So whether it's the radio you're listening to and you listen for the alerts, or you're looking at social media, but you must keep aware for our own personal safety and our own personal responsibility. We have to keep aware of that. So that's what I would advise all of our citizens. And that's what we are doing at the Ministry of Education, looking at the advisories, making sure we're up to date so that whatever decisions must be taken with regard to school, we go forward with that. But certainly, you know your situation, you know where you live, you know what you are prone to, and please keep aware of the alerts, because we want all our citizens, especially our children, to be safe in times where there's adverse weather.
All right, so with that said, in terms of making sure that awareness it hits home, the message is sent, I want us to end where we began. So it is currently the 27th of October. We're talking about tomorrow. Please go out the school day, the 28th. So once more, Minister, your statement on that, closing comments. Thank you.
So based on the weather conditions, the predictions of weather that should occur during the night of the 27th, as well as the riverine flood alert that has been issued, the Ministry of Education has taken a decision for safety to close all schools on Friday, 28th of October, 2022. So parents are advised to keep their students at home because schools will not be in operation.
All right. Thank you so much, Minister. Have a good one.
Thank you. Same to you.